So they must adopt reasonable
en todos aquellos casos en los que existan motivos razonables para sospechar que estos puedan utilizarse en el territorio palestino ocupado, teniendo en cuenta lo dispuesto en la resolución ES-10/24 de la Asamblea General aprobada el 18 de septiembre de 2024. Señor presidente, hacemos además un llamado a la comunidad internacional para que adopte medidas eficaces para obligar a Israel, la potencia ocupante, a adherirse al derecho internacional, incluso mediante la denuncia continua del doble rasero y la selección,
including international humanitarian law, and through warning that these double standards seriously undermine the credibility of states that insist on protecting the illegal and criminal actions of Israel and the legitimacy of multilateral institutions. In this context, and in line with our principled and historic positions, we take this opportunity to renew our firm commitment to the just cause of Palestine and our unwavering solidarity with the Palestinian people in their ongoing struggle to achieve their inalienable rights, freedom and justice. We also reaffirm our full and continued support to all efforts geared towards ending the grave injustice inflicted on the Palestinian people since the 1948 Nakba. We also remain committed to strengthening our efforts, including active engagement, to put an end to the illegal Israeli occupation and achieving the independence of the State of Palestine, with East Jerusalem, Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. The realization of the inalienable rights of the Palestinian people, including to self-determination and freedom, and a just, comprehensive and lasting solution to the question of Palestine in all of its aspects, including for the plight of the Palestine refugees and the realization of their right to return, in line with international law, the relevant resolutions of the UN, and the United Nations Charter, and on the basis of the two-state solution, enabling the realization of the independence of a sovereign and viable Palestinian state on the basis of the 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Moreover, we express our determination not to allow the ongoing situation in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and most particularly in the Gaza Strip, as well as in Lebanon, to become normalized, not to allow the violence unleashed by Israel, the occupying power, to become normalized. We once again demand that the government of the United States, as a permanent member of the Security Council, put aside its political calculations, because it has been this that has kept that body hostage to a paralysis that has emboldened Israel to continue with its policies of apartheid and extermination against the Palestinian people. In these grave times, to remain silent in the face of brutal violence is to be complicit. This is not an option. The integrity of the United Nations, and indeed the very future of multilateralism, depends on our collective courage to uphold its charter without exception or selectivity. We call, therefore, on all member states to act, not out of political expediency, but out of a sense of justice, responsibility, and humanity towards an entire people that has suffered and has resisted this grave injustice with dignity for far too long. Now is the time to make a reality for them the very promise contained in the Charter. Lastly, we reiterate our support for the responsible efforts conducted by this General Assembly to confronting and ultimately ending this ongoing tragedy being inflicted against the Palestinian people. Thank you very much, President.
I thank the Minister of People's Power for Foreign Relations of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, and now I give the floor to the distinguished representative of Qatar.
We were listening to the statements of the Venezuelan Foreign Minister Yvan as he was addressing the plenary session of the UN General Assembly on the 61st plenary meeting, 10th emergency special session on the illegal Israeli actions in occupied East Jerusalem and the rest of the occupied Palestinian territories. The Venezuelan Foreign Minister denounced and condemned once more the Israeli aggression against the Palestinian people and all the violence that is being exerted on the Palestinian people, all the violence that has been exerted in Gaza and the West Bank. He also called for the immediate implementation of the two-state solution and called and urged the United States to stop protecting, as a member of the UN, permanent member of the UN Security Council, to stop protecting Israel and exercise also his influence to bring an end to the genocide of the Palestinian people. Those were the statements of the Foreign Minister of Venezuela, Yvan, at this 61st plenary meeting in the UN General Assembly on this topic. Stay tuned in teleSUR English for more in upcoming news briefs.